All right, away we go. It is the nightcap. Everybody's favorite day of the week, the Sunday nightcap. Right here on BearcatJournal.com, brought to you as always by Galactic Fried Chicken. Visit www.galacticfriedchicken.com. Download the app for Android, iPhone, everything Galactic. Get down to Dayton, Kentucky. Tell them to pump it up. Save yourself 15%. Have them cater your tailgate, your watch party, whatever it is. Make sure you are taking care of one of our favorite sponsors, our good friends at Galactic Fried Chicken. All right, Aaron.
All right, Chad.
It's time.
It's not my favorite day of the week.
It's our viewers' favorite day of the week. This is now our most popular segment of the week. Everyone waits with bated breath for it to be posted on Sunday nights.
Why couldn't they be like this when I was writing about this?
Because that wasn't as fun.
Yeah, this is super fun.
Oh, we're going to have some fun today.
Great.
Okay. Drum roll, please.
All right. Well, first game to start off with would be TCU beating SMU 42-34. TCU elevates to 3-0. SMU drops to 2-2. Tanner Mordecai finishes 27-49. They're throwing it so much at SMU. It's silly. But 372 yards for Tanner, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Trey Siggers had 19 carries, 60 yards, 3 touchdowns, and Jake Bailey had 8 catches, 163 yards, and a touchdown for SMU. Maybe SMU isn't good. I know last week we were talking about them maybe being good, but
here's where I'll give them a little bit of credit.
TCU's undefeated.
They could have gotten dog walked, and TCU jumped out quick in that game. And given everything that is going on, like in that rivalry, how kind of emotional all of that is right now, it could have got away from them rather quickly. So I'll at least give them credit.
They had a chance in the fourth. They were down 8.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
And they just couldn't do it. So in any case, they lose, even despite a late. They were the last ones to score, bringing it back to within 8, but it was all for naught as SMU drops again to 2-2. Florida.
They played hard and coached well.
South Florida is not good. They finished
every game's going to be hard, Aaron.
Against Louisville, it was 41-3. Louisville dog walked South Florida.
There's a lot of stupid stuff.
In Louisville, USF finished, or they now dropped to 1-3. Louisville's 2-2, and there were 158 yards of total offense for South Florida.
I ain't take responsibility for that.
Nor should you. I'm very curious as to what it is that you're reading at this point. UMass and Temple. What a game. I wonder how many hundreds of people watched that game. But UMass donuts at 0 and Temple puts 28 on them. Temple's 2-2 now. UMass is 1-3. EJ Warner finishes 11 of 22 for 173 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. I don't even know how to say this guy's name. I'm going to do my best here. Adonicus. Sanders, 4 catches, 101 yards, 1 touchdown. They managed to win this game 28-0 with 313 yards of total offense, despite holding UMass to 259 with that 0. I can't imagine how boring and dreadful that game was.
Look, it's a rivalry game. The rivalry stays here. What do you think of when you think of rivalry games? You think of
UMass and Temple.
Temple and UMass.
That's exactly what I think of. Said no one ever. Not even
John
people.
Chaney,
not
Coach
even people.
Cal.
That's basketball, not football.
I'm gonna kill you, motherfucker! Like, that's what you think of.
Not football.
It's a rivalry game. The rivalry stays here.
There could not have been tempers like that in this game.
No. I mean,
no.
You know.
North Texas played Memphis. North Texas drops to 2-3. Memphis elevates to 3-1. Final score 34-44. Seth Hannigan, really the only player of note. 19 of 29 for 141 yards. I know that's enthralling. 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, and 10 carries for 54 yards. I don't know how Memphis hung up 44 on North Texas with their quarterback only throwing 2 touchdowns. Again, just not a game that I can imagine was wildly entertaining.
North Texas isn't good. Like, they're not good. Memphis found a way to win at home. Congratulations.
You did it. Tulsa drops to 2-2 against Ole Miss in a game that will probably be talked about for a while, I would imagine. Final score 27-35.
35-27.
Not the way it reads.
The team that scores more gets
I understand.
first.
It doesn't mean that I have to like or agree with that's the way that you're supposed
Ole
to say
Miss
it.
wins 35-27.
Then you have no idea without saying at home which team was the home team. That's stupid. In any case, Ole Miss came in ranked 16, and they did what they were supposed to do. Davis Brin gets knocked out of the game. Before he was knocked out, though, he was 7 of 13 for 112 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 carries, 5 yards, and a touchdown on the ground. Freshman Braylon Braxton came in, and he was not nearly as accurate, finishing 9 of 22 for 83 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Isaiah Epps had 4 receptions, 62 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
It's an actor, isn't he? Isaiah Epps?
No, that's Omar.
Oh.
That's Omar.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Georgia Tech.
I do want to say on the Ole Miss game.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, that was 35-17 at halftime. 35-17 at halftime. Like,
so Tulsa scored 10.
So it sounds like I didn't watch the game because it's Tulsa, and unless UC's playing them, I will never watch a Tulsa game ever. I'm blocked by like almost all of their media.
I find it fascinating that there were, in a picture that I saw floating on the internet today, there was like no students in the student section for Ole Miss for this game. Like, your school is 4-0. Why are there no students in your student section?
Was it maybe? Do you have context on the picture?
I don't have like how soon before. What I saw on the caption of this picture was, "We have to do better than this, students," or something along that line. And I guess It was floating around to people because it was a popular tweet or whatever. Just a weird game, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I just wonder, like, was that after halftime when they're up 35-17 and like
maybe, but even that's not a blowout.
I didn't watch. Like, I don't know the flow of how that game worked. I would like, you'll have to give Tulsa credit for at least making it look respectable on paper.
Not getting blown out.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech went to Orlando to face the Golden Knights of Central Florida. Probably the most entertaining thing about this game was post-game, when anybody who stayed got to watch a rocket take off from Cape Canaveral. That's probably the most entertaining thing. John Rice Plumlee finished 8 of 16 with 49 yards. Can you imagine a quarterback at Cincinnati finishing with 49 passing yards, 1 pick, 16 carries, 100 yards rushing, and a touchdown?
It's college football. Nobody feels sorry for you. When we found a way to win, it'll make it a million times easier to deal with it tomorrow.
Huh. That was not.
Oh, by the way, that was a game that was 16-10 going into the fourth quarter. And Georgia Tech is firing their coach in the morning.
They're not even a run-heavy school anymore. Like, do you remember?
No, they tried to go away from the triple option.
They're passing now. Yeah, they had. I think they had like 300 plus yards passing in the game.
Yeah, it didn't work.
No,
It
clearly
didn't work. Not that the triple option was working, but going away from it. And the thought there was, we're in Georgia, maybe the most talent-rich state in the country for football right now. Let's play traditional football. We don't have to be gimmicky. The triple option stuff didn't work. This isn't working either.
Sure. Speaking of the triple option,
16-10 going into the fourth quarter against a team so bad they're going to fire their coach in the morning.
Speaking of the triple option, Navy and ECU went into double overtime. 23-10, Navy wins over Holt Nailers and them Pirates. Navy is now 1-2. They are not going to finish without a win this season. ECU is now 2-2. Navy, this was a weird stat. I wrote it down. 152 pass yards, 191 rush yards. Almost balanced.
At the end of the day, it was a hectic football game. Means a lot to a lot of people. Not surprising it was a close game. Happy with the way our team got planned and figured out a way to win at the end. Very happy.
You are less than helpful tonight. Holt Nailers, 22 of 34, 267 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Isaiah Winstead had 11 receptions, 143 yards, and a touchdown for ECU. Weird game for ECU to lose at home to Navy.
There are games I've seen in these 4 games I've never seen in my 32 years of coaching.
Still have no idea what any of that means. Rice, 2-2. 27 against Houston, 2-2, 34. What's Rice even doing in a game with Houston, who was supposed to win the conference, Chad?
I wasn't really pleased with all of our players. I'm tired of doing so. I'm tired of yelling at them. I'm tired of motivating. I'm tired of all that crap. It's college football. We feel sorry for ourselves. They didn't go out and play better. Rice had a good game plan, and we were sluggish. Why? I don't know. We had a good week of practice. We had a trophy game, and the trophy stays here. We're thankful for that. I give Rice a lot of credit. They put a lot into this one. I'm not happy with the way our team figured out. It's not my fault. It's not my fault, Aaron.
It's the sluggish, ruggish bone. You're welcome.
It's not my fault. At one point, they just have to quit doing that. There's a lot of stupid stuff. Once again, I ain't taking responsibility for that, Aaron.
Clayton Toon
finished.
Have you
figured it out yet?
Yes, I did, finally, because that's how much I cared about Dana Holgerson's quotes that I've been meaning to look up since Dave talked about it this morning on the breakfast brunch, the Bearcat
They're
brunch.
so good. Like, he just throws his whole team straight under the bus.
Because at the end of the day, how long is Dana Holgerson really going to be in Houston? He doesn't care.
Well, his best friend is the $1 billion booster. Like, that's why he's there, is because Tillman Furtada is his best friend.
Frittata, like the breakfast.
That's not his name. It's just what I call him.
All right.
Fertitta, I think Fertitta is his name. I just call him Frittata.
Clayton Toon finishes 19-26, 249 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Is it Tashawn Henry? There's a Z in there, an apostrophe. I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna guess.
Was there a Niner in there?
Tayshawn, maybe. Tayshawn Henry.
Did I hear a Niner?
17 carries, 112 yards, 1 touchdown. Nathaniel Dell had 7 catches, 134 yards, and 1 touchdown. Again, you cannot be mentioned as a contender for. You should not be mentioned as a contender for any conference title. Finishing within a touchdown of Rice.
At one point in his post-game press conference, and in case I hadn't explained the joke yet. I was just using random, off-the-wall, insane quotes from Dana Holgerson's press conference, where he threw his whole team under the bus and basically said, "It's not my fault." Like,
I'm not out there catching the ball, running the ball, throwing the ball. That's not me. I just called the plays.
I tried to motivate him. It didn't work. I'm throwing up my hands. Screw these guys.
White flag.
Yeah, I'm out of here. Like this is. Somebody give me a Red Bull and vodka. Like
I'm not certain he wasn't already drinking them at that point.
He might have been. But yeah, like they're in a bad spot, man. Like they're in a bad spot. Last week they had guys fighting on the sidelines.
Who's the more unlikable coach, though, of the basketball program or the football program in Houston right now?
Here's what I kind of like Dana.
Because he's just batshit crazy?
Yeah. I don't think he can coach, but I kind of like him. Like, does
he drive like a 69 Firebird or something?
Oh, he owns one. I don't know if he drives it, but he owns one. There's one in the garage. There's absolutely one in the garage.
An El Camino or something of that nature? Like
no, it's when he drives to the casino. That's his casino car.
Some people have a daily
and a Thunderbird, not a Firebird, a Thunderbird.
All right.
68 Thunderbird.
Just letting that hair fly in the wind.
I mean, he just went nuclear on his team. I can't coach these guys. I've been doing it 32 years. Like, they don't listen to me. I'm throwing my hands up. I got nothing left. When your coach has nothing left and it's week 4, woof. Not good, Bob. Not great. Not great, Bob. Not great.
I'm sad that I have one more game to cover at this point.
I wish that one would have ended up last because it would have been the perfect culmination.
It would have. But at this point, let's just get through it. Southern Miss goes to 2-2 with a 27-24 win over Tulane, their first loss of the season. Michael Pratt finishes 19-29, 247 yards, a touchdown, a pick, 16 carries, 58 yards. And Tyjae Spears leads both. He led in both yardage in rushing and receiving with 22 carries, 114 yards, and a touchdown, and 5 catches for 74 yards. You don't want to drop.
You go win at Kansas State, who then responds this week and beats Oklahoma, and you lose to Southern Miss.
Set yourself up for failure there. I mean,
come on, man.
And of course, Cincinnati wins 21-point victory over the Indiana Hoosiers and officially owns the entire state of Indiana, according to their Twitter page.
How about this? I got some stats. Ben Bryant's current pass efficiency rating, 163.89, would rank as the second best season in school history behind Zach Caleros in 2009.
That's pretty good.
He holds the nation's 9th best passing grade, according to PFF.
I'm surprised.
I'm not.
I didn't expect it to be that high. I mean, that's up there, especially when you went 2 of 10 to start out the second half.
You go 17 of 21 for 314 yards, you can buy yourself a 2 of 10 half without the numbers really jumping up to get you.
Yet people are still crying for another quarterback from the stands.
No comment. Let's go.
That's your recap this week. Dana Holgerson's a crazy person.
I'm not taking responsibility for that. That was a line he used in his press conference, Aaron.
I didn't say Chad's a crazy person.
There's a lot of stupid stuff. Once again, I ain't taking responsibility for that.
I'm going to be completely honest. I was really worried that you went back to like one of our early podcasts and had written quotes that I had. And I'm like, oh, God.
See, 20 minutes tonight. This is how popular the AAC recap is.
People are going to love it. I hate everything.
That's the nightcap. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks to Galactic Fried Chicken right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya!